Hello everyone! Imagine we told you that in one part of the world, someone is fishing right next to a wildfire, and in another part of the world, people are dancing on their heads, or that there's a huge walking caterpillar made of smaller caterpillars. Would you believe us? Good thing all of this was filmed and included in our selection. All you've got to do is just watch the video until the end. Let's get it on. How about witnessing the incredible power of electricity? It is risky and scary to conduct such experiments ourselves. Good thing there are enough crazy guys out there. Well, now listen to how a stick that has closed a 35 kilovolt line sounds. Looks like we accidentally opened some kind of space-time portal here. Time for serious questions. Who do you think will be faster on the highway? A cyclist or a guy in a wheelchair mounted on a skateboard? If you think we're kidding, then just see what this guy's doing. It is impossible to imagine how scary and difficult it is to maintain balance at such a speed. Not for Evan, though. The guy can't walk, but he's a real pro when it comes to extreme sports. You can check his skill in these shots. You thought we'd give you a warning? No, we really want you to feel what this Fox reporter was going through. Well, the guy was doing a report about a thunderstorm that hit Arizona, so you could expect a lightning strike sometime. Thankfully, it ended only with a power outage in the area. Now just take a look at this. Wait, we actually meant this, but you've got to admit, the vibes are almost the same. Indeed, do you really need to pay attention to some fire when the fishing's going great and the birds are all singing like that? Well, here's another angle for a clear picture. The wall of fire is still far away from this Belarusian Daredevil. You have enough time to catch at least 3 perches. If you're a fan of unpredictable endings, you'll like this following footage. The man who shot it is cutting down a tree at a considerable height. The chunk starts to fall in the wrong direction, and you have 3 seconds to guess what happened next. It sticks into the ground like an arrow. Maybe it just decided to start growing again. Football was invented in a country which is sometimes called the Foggy Albion, but this video is not from there. This is what the recent game between Russian teams looked like. We think that during this game, everyone just relied on their instincts. The players simply kicked the ball away to the other team's goal. The commentator pretended to see an exciting game, and the fans were just shouting "Goal!" just in case, you know. This would make a nice new kind of show, don't you think? This is what you can call a really weird scene. A couple of guys from China catch fish like in Minecraft while screaming. Actually, the river became shallow and frozen. The fish fell into an ice trap and the guys only had to get it, though it was hardly edible at that point. We've got a contender for the title of the most accurate slingshot master in the Wild West. Well, more precisely in the Wild East. Take a look at what this Chinese top gun is capable of. Looks great in slow motion, don't you agree? Well, in case you can't believe your eyes.
Arnold!
We told you, no warnings today. Any guesses what just happened? The guy with the slingshot has nothing to do with it. This is how they clear the mountain roads from the rubble. Can you imagine how long it would take for the special vehicles to arrive there? Here, all you need to do is just press a button.
Arnold!
And at least one lane is safe for travel now. Have you ever seen a person spinning on their head? Okay, 2 people. And what about 100? Well, enjoy. By the way, these break dancers from Kazan set the world record for the number of people spinning on top of their head at the same time. There are so many weird competitions in the world, don't you agree? Some animals are so agile that it can blow your mind. We're all accustomed to cats walking on fences, but a possum mother creeping along thin boards with her offspring on her back is a completely different level. Could you even take a single step up the fence with a couple of kids on your shoulders? And here we have, well, if you can count the exact number, share it in the comments. Here's a more difficult task for you. Try to count the number of caterpillars in this pile. We guarantee you've never seen anything like that. And even if you did, you immediately ran to get a flamethrower. Actually, the caterpillars don't form the so-called rolling swarm in order to intimidate us. As amazing as it may sound, they just move faster in such a bizarre way. But sometimes the strange behavior of animals defies any logical explanation. They just do whatever they want. Like, for example, this bear, who acts like a Shaolin monk. Are you impressed by its technique? This, of course, is not nunchucks, but it still looks amazing. Now, let's look at the nearest palm tree. You didn't expect to see that, did you? Seems like the goat has already realized it's chosen the wrong mountain to climb. Descending is always more difficult than climbing up. Hopefully the goat made it okay. Unlike the previous heroes, this snake is not messing around. The summer body workout session is in progress. In case you didn't know, snakes can't get traction on fleece blankets, so they become a treadmill for them. So if your hissing pet gets fat, you know what to do. We have to say that there are many daredevils in Florida. One of them was spotted at Daytona Beach. Okay, maybe the driver just didn't notice the warning signals. Well, seems like he deliberately ignored them altogether. There's a theory that the guy just dreamed of recreating his favorite video game trick in real life. What do you think? Okay, forget it. Better tell us if you've heard anything about the combat squadron of wild geese in the Chinese Air Force. For a long time, information about it was classified, but we managed to get unique footage. Seriously though, we wonder what made the birds follow the boat in such an epic fashion. There's one theory: the birds just decided to take advantage of the air currents created by it and conserved energy. Well, it looked majestic. This guy has an unusual problem. He complains that over several weeks now, he's been annoyed by a woodpecker who's settled on the plot of his neighbors. What is the problem exactly? Turns out the bird loves to hang on a satellite dish. And well, sometimes it acts the way a woodpecker is supposed to. The residents below aren't bothered by the drumming or interference with the broadcast, so maybe this bird is actually fixing the satellite dish. Is it possible to be extremely focused and serious, and at the same time playful and funny? Well, this fellow nailed it. Do you think this little girl is so enthusiastic about watching some cartoon from Disney or Pixar before going to bed? Not quite. We have a fan of harsh gangster hip-hop here. Look into her eyes. We think that we'd better not ask her anything and move on. Does this rodeo on a toy alpaca seem strange to you too? Imagine what real animals feel when looking at this scene. The poor alpacas seem to be seriously worried about their friend. No one has done this to them before. We want to believe that eventually they saw through this deception. Of all delivery guys, this is perhaps the most daring one. Seriously, this is his usual day at work. When the guy asked whether he needed any help, he replied that he'd been doing such tricks for 6 years. Do you think he can deliver the wardrobe on a skateboard? Of course, we have to mention cats in today's selection. Moreover, here we have not just a cat, but a real master of kung fu. We've already witnessed the Shaolin bear. Now behold this punch. Though he has to work on the strength of his spirit, look what ordinary smoke did to it. Actually, it wanted to show you what it feels like to get subscribed to Mind Warehouse. You click on the link, get new cool videos, you fall under the table. Try it, it really works.